SEO pros, big news! I recently discovered SEO Nitro, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. In just days, I saw incredible results that blew my mind. With SEO Nitro, you can get links from thousands of different C-block IPs, the most powerful links at a fraction of the cost. Patent software lets you control your entire backlink profile in minutes. Add, remove, and change links at any time. Protect your site from Google's changes with SEO Nitro's revolutionary backlinking software. Imagine having the power to have laser-targeted themed backlinks, automated link spinning, set it and forget it. Thousands of stellar sites and manual and automated posting options. SEO Nitro is the ultimate SEO weapon. Head on to SEONitro.com now to revolutionize your SEO game. Don't miss out on page 1. It's just click away. Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Friday. If you're just tuning in, we just got Stewart in the back joining us. We'll be talking about how to attract high-ticket SEO leads. You know, how to get those high-ticket clients. We're going to learn Stuart's SEO process and how he does this. He wrote the book on the power lever method, right? Is that the title of it? The power lever method?
That's right.
Oh yeah. Don't be shy, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. Stuart is in the back getting things ready himself. Freddie Dickerson. Hi, y'all. What's up, Freddie? How you guys doing out there? Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Just a reminder for y'all, I will be attending the SEO Spring Training Conference. If you want to hang out, let's go to SEOspringtraining.com. Check that one out. For those looking into building some interesting backlinks and controlling them, check out SEOnitro.com as well. Kenneth says, hi, Stuart and Dre. Hello, Kenneth. If you're just tuning in, we got Stuart Vickers in the back. You can see him there, Mr. SEO Jesus. Oh, yeah. Kobe says, SEO Jesus. Yes, sir. It's about what, almost 8 o'clock at your place? You just come back from the clubs? Hello from Seattle, Washington, Carol. Hello. If you guys want a copy of the SEO in 2024 book, let me know. Just send me an email at dre@seo.video and I'll send you a copy. Just send me your address as long as you are in the US. I can send this out to you. Send an email to dre@seo.video and say you want the SEO in 2024 book with your address. And I'll get that mailed out to you as soon as possible. While supplies last, of course. I only have a few copies. Ernesto says, yo, yo, yo. We got less than 5 minutes to go. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. How are you doing with your New Year's resolutions? I have a goal to lose 24 pounds, and I lost 2 so far, so I'm on track. Oh yeah, guys. We got about 3.5 more minutes to go. Just watching you guys trickle in. Don't forget to say hi in the live chats. Logan says, hello. Hello, Logan. If you're just tuning in, we got Stuart Vickers in the back. You can see him in the red jacket. We'll be talking about how to attract high-ticket SEO leads. We got some great questions here. If you have some questions yourself, please get them ready. But be sure to be on topic. So like after I go live in about 2.5 minutes, I go over a few videos in the very beginning, and then I'll introduce you about 8 minutes after the hour.
Okay, great.
All right. Let me make sure I can hear you. I can hear you. You're a little low. Nisha says, "Happy Friday." Let me try to hear your. Let me see if I can hear you real quick.
Can you hear me okay now?
Oh yeah, perfect. All right. All right, guys, we got less than 2 more minutes to go. Get your shouts out, get your questions ready. We're talking about how to attract high-ticket clients with SEO. Stuart, are you doing consulting? Are you just doing full-time consulting, or are you like doing coaching with the power lever method?
It's a mix. So so I've got a link building agency fundamentally.
Ah, okay.
Yes, the power lever method was originally an agency for high-ticket coaches. Yeah, so it's done for SEO, and I'm going to be bringing out a group coaching membership as well.
Nice. Can't wait to hear more in our interview. Be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. We got less than 1 more minute to go. And Stuart, I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute real quick, and then I'll unmute you when I introduce you in.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Be sure to get your shouts out. 44 seconds. If you want the SEO in 2024 book, email me at dre@seo.video, your address. And I'll see you on the other side.
Get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO Video Show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name's Paul Andre De Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the director of the Power Lever Method, Stuart Vickers. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Nisha, Logan, Ernesto, Carol, Kobe, Kenneth, Freddie. What's up, everyone? Please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Ooh, I saw Stefan. Just log on. Happy Friday. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why do SEOs love the farmer's market? Lots of organic content.
Google was a little quiet this week. I mean, there were some unconfirmed Google updates that Search Engine Roundtable found. So be sure to check that out on his website and various sorts website. They did update some documentation around schema. I added the link below. How Ted Kubaitis and Lee Witcher have 100% success rate using AI content. Let's check this one out.
Two methodologies that seem to work, and not everybody is using those two methodologies. So one is stitching, where you use prompts to make small parts of a document and you stitch the outputs together to make a well-crafted, well-rounded document. So stitching is one way we've had success. And then lists of things as supplemental content is the other way we've had success with it. So I would focus on those two areas, and maybe you can see some of what I've been seeing. Lee, how about you?
I'll say this. One, I have entire websites that are nothing but ChatGPT content that rank. Now, they don't rank extraordinarily well, because large language models, ChatGPT and other ones, are trained on a corpus of documents, not a corpus of well SEO'd documents. So, your mileage may vary by niche. But yeah, I mean, there's no, some of the work that Honey's done over the past year or so, looking at AI detection, I see nothing, that prevents AI content from ranking.
A software I personally use to help me write successful content with AI is ZimmWriter by Matt Zimmerman. Be sure to check out Matt Zimmerman's episode on the SEO Video Show as we cover the tool extensively. Can you hide your GBP address without losing rankings? Darren Shaw shares one of his tests. Let's check this one out.
Address. So on November 16th, I got him to go in his Google business profile and show his business address. So he toggles this on, enters the new address, and clicks save. This was on November 16th. Now let's see what happens to his rankings. I'm currently filtered to all of his rankings at his old location. And you can see ranking, adds the address to his Google business profiles, rankings plummet in the old location. Now, how do they look in the new location? So this is great. You can see that when I filter by the new location, his rankings have completely shifted. No longer ranking at the old address, ranking now at the new address. And now the final piece was to get him to now hide his address on Google. The theory thinking that this would actually update his address and he would now be able to continue ranking at the new location. So this happened on November 20th. And for like 3 days, I was like, oh my God, we did it. I was so excited. I was like, yes, it worked. It worked. But when I changed my date range, sadly, you can see it worked great while his address was showing on his profile, and then it plummeted. And so what actually happened to his rankings? This is kind of fascinating. Rankings totally shifted right back to the old location. You can see exactly what happens. Like ranking well, adds his address to his profile, and it's visible and it shows, hides his address, and then ranking shifted right back to the bowling green address.
Interesting insight. It looks like there's some cache time that Google will revert to. Lesson here is keep your address visible. Have you had any success hiding your address while maintaining rankings? Let me know in the live chat or in the comments below. Understanding SEO tactics, strategies, and goals by Aleyda Solis. Let's check this video out.
Your SEO recommendations are likely at the tactical level. They describe how you will be doing something. An example here. Optimize the title, meta descriptions, and heading of category pages or facet pages to make them specifically descriptive and relevant to each. So this is a tactic. They describe how you are going to achieve something. And then the what you will achieve are the strategies. So for example, improve the content relevance and quality of categories and facet pages underperforming for their targeted commercial queries. How do you achieve it? With the recommendations that are tactics. One of the ways is by optimizing the titles, descriptions, headings, but also by featuring more products per page, by adding FAQs in the listings, etc. All of this will improve the content relevance and the quality of your categories and facet pages, right? But as you can see, these are all just different ways to achieve this what, right? Your SEO goal is the why you want to execute that strategy.
In enterprise SEO, being strategic is essential when speaking with executives. You want to show your efforts, how your efforts will help the business overall success. I shared the link to the flowchart by Aleyda below. Be sure to check that out. How to use LinkedIn to rank #1 by Stuart Vickers. Let's check this one out.
LinkedIn Parasite seems to be getting more and more powerful with Google ever since I first started reporting it a few months ago. What we've seen lately is LinkedIn Parasite is just becoming more and more effective, with LinkedIn ranking for more and more competitive terms. So the experiment I wanted to run involved, can I actually rank for high niches that could generate leads for my business and therefore work in all kinds of different competitive niches? I shared a simple process where I wrote an article with a combination of correlational SEO tools plus ChatGPT, and then hit that page with off-page money robot links, basic automated spam links, and CTR manipulation. And the result, just 1 week later, I am number 1 cannabis dispensary local SEO, got the featured snippet. So getting the featured snippet is normally based on answering questions in an NLP friendly way. It just makes it easier for the machine to actually understand it. So you can actually prompt ChatGPT to write in an NLP friendly way. Typically, anytime you have an individual section or question, it can be good to do that. In this case, I didn't even do that, and this was merely good chance. So I'm ranking number 1 for cannabis dispensary local SEO, and I'm also on page 1 for the much bigger, much more valuable cannabis SEO.
Parasite SEO has been such a hot topic these days. We can probably get more tips from our guest today. This brings me to my favorite part of the show. Please ask questions on topic, and I will address them in the order that they are received. Before we get started, here's a word from our sponsor. Ever wonder how to get your brand noticed? I found the answer with Magic PR. Thanks to Magic PR, my brand now reaches over 500 plus premium news and media outlets. I've seen my press release on MSN, AP News, Business Insider, Yahoo Finance, and many more. But it's not just about visibility. With Magic PR's unique SEO process, I've noticed incredible boosts in traffic to my site and improved local and organic rankings. From crafting the perfect press release to building a powerful SEO campaign, Magic PR is always there for me. Want to experience the magic of PR? Try Magic PR just like I did and watch your business reach new heights. Stewart owns multiple online businesses and is the author of the Power Lever Method, how magnetic coaches attract great clients. He's become an online journalist before specializing in affiliate marketing and SEO. He now runs multiple sites and digital agencies. He regularly speaks on various topics for high-ticket online business owners. Please welcome the SEO Jesus, Stuart Vickers. Stuart, my man, how are you doing today?
Very good, thank you. That was quite an introduction.
Love it, love it. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, Stuart, I'm going to get right into it. This is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals to come on here in 1 minute or less. How does Stuart get ranking on page 1 of Google?
So current tactic at the moment tends to be exact match domains, filling them with basic AI content. And then we're doing this at scale across a whole load of different sites. Mm-hmm. And then we basically see what works. We'll just do an Ahrefs batch analysis every week or so. And we find some of these sites with absolutely no effort are starting to get rankings and traffic. And that's then where we know we can go hard on that particular winner, if you like. Other than that, as you say, just going hard on the parasite stuff, because that seems to be what Google wants at the moment.
Love that, love that. Let's rewind this quick. Hold on, let me rewind this. Stuart, take us way back. Way back, when did you first get into SEO?
My first website was around 2017, something like that. Well, arguably, it was with my first blogging job, actually. I was a student at University College London. Always wanted to be a writer of some sort. At the time, I just needed a job of some sort. I was loving London life. I was studying history of art, which didn't have much contact time in the classroom. So I was enjoying London and just needed some cash. And nearly ended up becoming a double glazing window salesman with some sort of suspicious Ponzi scheme. But then I found out about this online menswear blogger job. And they basically said, we want a menswear expert. And if you can just drop these keywords into the text, that will enable us to rank on Google. So that was transformational for me, realizing, having always wanted to be a writer, it could actually be a viable career path. And then, first website in 2017. And then at that point, I was still more focused on Facebook traffic. But then around 6 months later, I started to notice some pages were getting consistent traffic and sales over time. That's when I really realized this is that SEO I've heard about.
Love that. So what part of SEO made you interested in it? I mean, because you could have got instant traffic with Facebook like you were doing, but what made you go hard on SEO?
For one thing, it's the evergreen nature everyone talks about. So there's already, the thing with social traffic is it only lasts 24, 48 hours. And then you've got to go away and write another new article again. And there's no commercial intent there either. You're publishing information, people get the information and they leave. Whereas I was seeing these people who are doing SEO effectively, where someone searches for buying a product, they land on your review of that product, and then they buy the product. It's as simple as that. And of course, you don't need to touch that again for another 6 to 12 months.
Love that. Love that. So how'd you actually learn it then?
Far too slowly. So yeah, I've been, ever since I was fully aware of it, fully on board with it, it's probably been about 5 years. And at the time, it was just consuming all the free content that's out there. So yeah, loads of YouTubers. I think the biggest learning was probably on my commute to the day job at the time. I was religiously listening to the Authority Hacker podcast, which obviously remains a very high level of SEO insight. And so yeah, just listening to that every day.
Love that. I mean, were there any other resources that you're going to, other websites, or was it just basically that podcast that kind of set the tone?
Well, obviously, they do a lot of interviews, and then from that, I was able to go off in all sorts of other directions and find other sources. So, other major, I mean, it was through them that I found out about Matt Diggity originally, which at the time felt like a big step up from, they're quite beginner focused. Diggity seemed to be a bit more advanced. But it just goes deeper and deeper. And it's only in the last 2 or 3 years or so. Now I've actually been getting out to events and meeting some of the top people in the industry and finding the things that you'll never learn through free content on the internet. So it's been a very steep growth curve in the last 6 months or so.
Love that, because you actually bring up one thing where you actually attended the Matt Diggity's conference, right? In Chiang Mai. I mean, was that like a great learning experience for you?
Definitely. It was, definitely the best SEO conference I've been to. Conferences, actionability is always the key metric. You go to somewhere, it's all mindset and motivation, which a lot of people love, and they come away starry-eyed and so on. But you think there's nothing I can actually implement from this right now. And even a lot of SEO speakers. One reason I started getting on stage more as an SEO speaker was getting over that imposter syndrome, having been to a few conferences and thinking I can do that much better when someone's given a vague talk of you can use keywords and rank on Google. Whereas Chiang Mai was very high level. I got plenty to take away and implement from that.
Nice. So you could say it's more actionable. You got a lot of more even secret tactics out of Chiang Mai.
Exactly. Even for high level people, I think loads of us still came away with good insights.
Love it. So take us to your present now. So you have multiple agencies. Let us know a little bit more about your power lever method, which we're going to get which will drive us into our conversation today.
Yes, I've been consolidating a lot over the last probably 6 months or so. Like we all do, we all start all these different projects in different spaces. And some of it works, some of it doesn't, some works better than others. And you also kind of realize that you're much better off just running one really good business rather than spinning 5 plates at once. So when I launched my agency, I got invited to a few high-level masterminds, which just happened to be with high-ticket coaches. And they were all doing some serious revenue figures, but had absolutely no awareness of SEO. So I thought, this is my gold mine. I'm going to get in on this. Branded myself as the SEO for coaches. No one else was really doing it. And that's how the book came about. And then to start all this off, my original agency was called Supply, spelled SERPPLY, which I think your audience will understand perfectly. If I go to a prospective client, they just think I can't spell. So I was quite keen to bin that one off as soon as possible. It's still my official company name. Then, the power lever method was specifically for coaches. We'll rank you on Google. I was meeting public speaking coaches who they were talking about transformation and empowerment and so on their page. Never actually mentioned public speaking coach anywhere. And I was telling them there's 1,000 searches for public speaking coach per month on Google. But if you don't put it on your page, no one's going to find it because Google is just a machine. So that worked pretty well. But over the last 6 months, you probably noticed it's really blown up on YouTube. And ever since then, despite branding myself as the SEO for coaches, I've been getting much more general queries from all kinds of wonderful industries. So yes, we've been doing very well on cannabis at the moment. So hence the parasite case study you showed. What else have we got at the moment? All sorts of wonderful niches. Adults was a good one, actually. I accidentally went to an adult conference therefore ended up
Accidentally.
starting an affiliate site in that niche.
Mhm.
And then as a result, I've now got some clients in that niche.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So, I mean, these high ticket clients, I mean, this is something where we wanted to kind of talk about today and use SEO. I mean, it could be a little bit more general and like kind of your process of like attracting these clients. I mean, you're going out there and you're capturing, but with SEO wise, I mean, what opportunities do you think you see exist for using SEO to connect with clients you're ready to invest with high ticket offers?
Yeah, so the big motivation there was basically a lot of people said the same thing, that SEO takes the same resources to sell an expensive product as a cheap product. A lot of people will say that it's the same with any form of marketing, not just SEO. But in our case, content writer is the same price, link building is the same price. Now we've got ChatGPT, the cost of content has come right down, so it's all on the links. So if you're spending a couple of $100 per link, then would you rather stick with that affiliate blog you've got that's selling lawnmowers on Amazon and giving you $5 per sale? Or my theoretical question is always, how can you max that out? What's the ultimate niche you could go into with your website? So could you do a private jet lead gen site or super yacht, something like that?
Oh, man.
So that's always a thought experiment I've got going on at the back of my mind. So with the coaches, that was just instant win where, public speaking coach, 1,000 searches per month on Google in the US. And these people are charging multiple $1,000s. They've got tiered offers where it can be more of a lower ticket membership or a program. And then, of course, they've got the VIP level one-on-one. And the thing with B2B coaching is it's this amazing industry where someone might have some unique insight. And yes, they can charge $10,000 for that insight, but they're charging that to major CEO or someone like that, who, because of that one insight, then goes on to multiply the company's revenue. So it all works out. It's one of these magical things where everyone makes money. So you think, why on earth am I selling lawnmowers and pencil sharpeners on Amazon when you could be getting more of these, connecting these high ticket offers with high ticket people?
Oh, I love that. So I'm curious. I mean, let's expand on that a little bit. On like, how are you finding these high ticket offers?
On an affiliate basis, it's quite tough. So the coaching community is really interesting. So there is this stereotype cliche about coaches coaching coaches, and to an extent it's true. But as I say, somehow it all works out. Everyone ends up making money. Yeah. And because of that, it's almost like concentric circles. So most business coaches will have a community or a mastermind, something like that. And it's very much a Pareto 80-20 type thing. The beginner market is much bigger than the premium elite market who are actually doing really well out of it. So you basically got to work on getting in the room with those kinds of people. So when I started the agency, I was basically paying a good couple of $1,000s just to get into an event, often in the US. So I'd be flying over, staying in the hotel. But any sort of upgrades that basically offer more one-on-one time, whether it's VIP access to the speaker dinner, anything like that, I'm just always buying those because they say you're more likely to win that trust with someone if you spend more time with them. So you can go to a conference that's got $300 a ticket, barely speak to anyone all day, or you could spend $3,000 to go to a mastermind dinner, and you've already got 3 people directly around you can have a really good conversation with. If there's an element of drinks beforehand, you can quickly work the room and talk to everyone. That's then fantastic connections. That's the real value. I'm a people person. A lot of SEOs aren't. But that was kind of that was the big mission, I think. I was happy to get on a plane, basically go to a party and hang out with interesting people.
Oh, I love that. Let's actually go that a little more too, because I mean, this is kind of like kind of goes into like how you're finding these high ticket clients. I mean, so these masterminds, are these certain masterminds? How are you finding them? I mean, so how do you know? Like, are you picking up different niches, and then so you bring SEO to different niches by different types of industry masterminds?
To an extent, yes. So I have actually pivoted away from this lately. So the whole point of having gone from Power Lever Method, then blowing up on YouTube, I then leaned in. People have been calling me SEO Jesus for a long time. It was only about 3 months ago that I finally called it and said, right, that's the name of the agency. And that's the general non-specific SEO agency. But to answer your question, masterminds were fantastic for... I got to 6 figures in 6 months with the agency, and that was all through this one-on-one time of masterminds. So I basically sold an affiliate site, had the money, And I thought I could burn that on Facebook ads, potentially make nothing, or I could go to these events, and then if nothing else, I'm going to have a really good time. The first one I got invited to was a whitewater rafting expedition in Colombia. So we had 2 days in the conference hotel, and then went whitewater rafting in the rainforest, camped overnight. The camp was all done for us, and then we got helicopters back. So, no, to answer your question in terms of finding them, it's really these small communities of business coaches. So, yeah, they'll be charging $10,000-$20,000 or so for their mastermind. But quite often, these kinds of events, they're not always exclusive to the mastermind. Sometimes you can just go to the one-off events. So if there's a conference where if it is $300 a ticket, you'll probably find there's an option to pay $1,000 or $2,000 to get to the speaker's dinner, and then it compounds, because all these people have all got their own communities basically, and often running events. So the main issue is just filtering, because there are plenty of people jumping on the bandwagon thinking, yeah, I can sell out a room to 100 entrepreneurs, and in reality, no one in the room is actually making any money yet. Full of ambition, yeah, everyone's got to start somewhere, but it all reflects in that ticket price basically. And it's very difficult to tell whether you're in the room with serious high-level people or lots of very determined aspirational people who can't actually afford you yet.
Excellent. Love that. Okay, let's bring this back to like the SEO wise. I mean, like when optimizing for high ticket clients or ticket keywords. I mean, what are some of like the foundational things that you do to the keyword research?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, this is why I go for it. The fact is, you look at the keyword research, and these kinds of terms are less competitive than your average affiliate keyword. So that was part of the process when I went to Medellin, met, for instance, the public speaking coach, and you were seeing these tiny personal brands where you could tell they weren't serious SEO people. They might have a DR of 19 or so on page one, and not even page. I think the number one result, I've not checked for a while now, but the number one result was a DR 19 for 1,000 searches per month of people searching for public speaking coaching. So in terms of the process, yeah, it was literally being willing to dig down and find those keywords. I always like to sort by CPC. I'll basically put in the filter now that Ahrefs has got that fantastic function where you can set your minimum DR or max DR rather, so that if you're looking at a list of keywords, normally I'd go through individually and work out which of these have got DRs 20s and 30s on page one, and then you know it's not too competitive. Now you can do that in bulk because Ahrefs has got that function, and then once you've filtered that, you can then sort by CPC and identify high value opportunities that way. So one thing I like to do is just when I'm coming up with business ideas, I'm trying to get out of the habit of starting new side projects. But when I was doing that, you could just put in service to Ahrefs and then perform all of that, and you can find these low competition opportunities or potential agencies and services to run. And the same thing with doing lots of autoblogging.ai case studies, and it's the same thing. A lot of other people doing AI case studies, they're quite often building big sites. Obviously, Julian Goldie's doing fantastically well in all sorts of different niches, but his main case study is just information about birds. Now, there's no way I can compete with Julian Goldie, but I thought, let's take a different approach. Let's try and build a mass AI website that only targets high-value commercial terms. Because loads of people say you can't do that. You need this mix of commercial info. Well, let's find out. So I was picking up all these domain names for different kinds of injury lawyers and things like that, and local searches especially. And then it's just a simple process with the AI to just knock out articles for every single location for a high-ticket service, whether it's asbestos removal or lawyers or doctors.
Oh, man. All right. So you gave me some ideas here, which also you actually brought up when you're 1 minute on ranking exact domain matches. And you said, so you've been doing a lot of exact domain buying, and that's been working really well for you?
Working really well for me is debatable. It didn't work for me for about 2 years. So I read a book on domain investing about 2 or 3 years ago. And he basically said, what you do is, I think he was using Google Autosuggest and then some sort of free Chrome extension. He wasn't an SEO who was doing it. And he was basically saying, you want to find these sort of contractor style domain names that have a CPC of at least $2.50 and a search volume of 100 a month or something like that. I can't quite. No, it was $10 per click CPC and 250 searches per month. And I thought, I can do this in bulk with Ahrefs. Why is he doing it manually? So the result was I ended up registering hundreds of these domain names, contractors, software, insurance. So I've got some really good ones. But then I immediately had this hesitation of, why would I flip these? This is what you're meant to do outreach and try and sell them on. And I thought, why would I sell this domain name for a couple of $100 when if the CPC is $30, I could build this into a much more profitable website, given that my skill is in SEO, which therefore meant I just didn't do anything. And I sat on these domains for about 2 years, racking up this big renewal bill every year. It comes in August and it's always a bit painful. But then ChatGPT came out and we were finding a ChatGPT optimized page as the homepage on an exact match domain will very often rank with no backlinks. And if you get a few keywords starting to rank without backlinks, then if you hammer it with backlinks, that's going to be a successful website. So we basically built an SOP with the team, go through this big spreadsheet of domain names one by one, and then this is better than doing nothing. And then in 6 months to a year's time, we should have a load of domains that are actually getting rankings for keywords. Maybe we can sell the ones that aren't, but then we can build the ones that are actually getting results.
I love that. I love that. So with the domains that you're building and you're putting content, are you do you have any strategy on the content that you're putting on there? Are you building like topical maps and putting more than one page, or just one pagers? Are they like multiple pages?
So it's all staged. It's very much the venture capital model of they have to earn the right to get more investment. Because what I've done in the past is, I'll go onto Odys, spend 5-10 grand on a domain name, and then keep piling into that domain name more content. I had a whole team at one point doing this, and then 6 months down the line, we've been told that expired domains work right away. A lot of them don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You end up, sinking a lot of money and just hoping it's going to turn around at some point. And often it did, but it's always a nervous process. So I couldn't afford to do that across 200 websites. So with these, it literally starts off as just an optimized page. So I've got a process where we basically copy the entities from Surfer, dump those into ChatGPT, and we say, write us a long form article on this subject using the following entities, the number of times indicated after /. And then you just type keep writing a few times. ChatGPT will then produce your 2,000, 3,000 word blog post. We set that as the homepage. We just use a basic cadence theme. And then that's what we just leave. And then after a few months, that will normally start getting traction. And that's when we know we can go into autoblogging.ai and then we'll complete the sort of topical silo. If you like. Then it becomes content rich. Then we'll do citations, press release, things like that.
Love that. So you actually have like a process where you let it sit for about a month or two, just like make sure, see what comes in organically. Then you expand on the ones that actually got traction.
Yeah, plenty of them don't work, and that's absolutely fine. If 5 of them work, then that's all we need, and we've got more resources to concentrate on them.
Love that. Okay, let's once someone builds that, and then they found their high value keywords, they built their sites out, and they probably even use your process of maybe finding the right niche by seeing what catches for them by doing a few domains. So what are some beyond keywords? I mean, how should other people highlight elite expertise to earn the trust of big spenders? Once you have the website going, Yeah,
I've definitely got longer on video lately. There is this very powerful. I certainly found as soon as I've basically been working away in the background for years, having some people know me, but not being a public figure or anything like that. I remember when I was coming back from Colombia, actually, I was asking other agency owners for referrals, basically, because I had a good network of other SEOs. So I said, anyone who needs link building, send them to me, I'll give you a commission. Someone said, I've got them for you. And it seemed like a really good fit. There was a real estate client. And he then came back saying, I'm afraid I'm going to go with Matt Diggity because he's got this amazing brand, this channel, and all that trust built up. Whereas you've just sent me a one-page, well, at the time, it was just a one-page website for my agency. So that was really powerful when I realized even a personal, so he was hiring this guy who referred me. So someone he trusted had referred me, and that was not enough compared to Matt Diggity with his brand on YouTube. So that's when I doubled down on the personal brand.
Got it.
So you've probably seen I've got the Google Knowledge Panel now.
Yep.
So I've got the book, best-selling author. all these things were, at the time I started the agency, thinking we just do the work. We don't bother about building this pretty brand because that's what everyone else does who can't do it. We just do the work, get results. But then you find you are selling to people here, and people need to, as you say, earn that respect and trust. So even with the high-ticket coaches I was working with, when we're trying to sell these $10,000 programs, generally we're not expecting to make money on the front end. So I've done a lot of insurance before. There's all those classic SEO niches like local plumbers, things like that, locksmiths, where you've got an emergency, I need this fixed right now, go onto Google and they buy. And I've had that. When I worked at the insurance company, they were spending 10 grand a month on paid ads and getting nowhere. I wrote a few blog posts for them when I finally got them over the line saying, come on, we can do this SEO process. Let's at least test it out. And we could hear the phones ringing off the hook as a result. So that's classic SEO, basically. With the coaches, it was much more a case of you've got this funnel pre-built. So we've got all these social profiles. A lot of these brands, they love reels and posting all this content on their social media profiles. It's about how do we expand that, because all these social profiles are really restricting their reach. And of course, it's not commercially targeted. So the aim of ranking for someone for public speaking coach wasn't necessarily for someone to just buy the $10,000 program on the front end. It's get the lead magnet in front of them. So you join their email list, they follow you on social media. But that's then targeted leads who are already looking for you, rather than what you're doing right now, which is posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, and hoping one of these is going to get someone's actually going to pick up on this.
Love that. So for that $10,000 program client, can you kind of walk us through the whole strategy, what you did for them? Let's say you said you had actually landing pages, so you actually brought them. Were you optimizing landing pages, to get ready to pull in that lead, or were you doing other? Did you actually have just blogs just coming in? And I mean, what was kind of more of the strategy was when you were optimizing for that $10,000, bringing in that $10,000 for someone to come in for that $10,000 program?
Yeah, it's a mix. So we always talk about basically the sales funnel, and we basically say that we want to rank you for your core commercial term. And sometimes that was a challenge because some of these coaches are in wonderful niches. So someone I met at Mastermind who said she was an intuitive coach. I thought, that might be a bit niche. I'm always proudly saying there's opportunities in every niche, and I get out Ahrefs. I thought this one might be a challenge. But I had a look, and intuitive life coach had 350 searches per month. So great, wasn't expecting that, but it works. So we'll always try and rank you for your core commercial term, where you know that 10-20% of those people will probably ultimately buy from you. But after that, once we've completed that, then we want to go on and basically complete that sort of topical map, if you like, where it's info content, but it's still relevant to your potential leads. So the conversion rate is going to be much lower. But it could be that one article where someone first discovers you and you answer their question, and then they join your email list and they get your lead magnet, and then they get nurtured to the point where 6 months down the line they might actually buy from you.
Got it. All right. So that's that's awesome there. So I wanted to go into more of the content strategy because we're talking about the blogs and everything like that. I mean, when you're creating topical maps, let's say for this intuitive coach, I mean, how are you creating that? I mean, what tools are you using? What kind of let's say content were you creating for them? Was it using informational? But did you build the whole website for them as well, or was it kind of are you just doing the content strategy?
So fundamentally, we're a link building agency. That's how we started, because that's the number one struggle of most SEOs. So we do. Started off doing backlinks for my own sites, then thought, had loads of people saying, can you do mine for me? So there's a natural progression there. We white label for a few SEO agencies as well. So that was the initial engine. We just want to do backlinks. Trouble is, of course, backlinks don't work if your content's not up to scratch. So certainly starting with some of those coaches where we want to build you links, but you're a public speaking coach who doesn't currently mention I'm a public speaking coach on your homepage, those backlinks aren't going to do anything. So the initial sort of no-brainer offer I came up with was, we'll basically sell you the backlinks, but we'll do your content for free. Because
there we go.
A lot of these brands, they only really need maybe 5 to 20 pages. It's not like a massive affiliate site. Quite often, if you do the keyword research in these types of niches, often the actual websites are quite small. So it's your core commercial search term, and then maybe some supporting content around that. So that's basically fundamentally what we did. The actual process is just classic Ahrefs keyword research. So we always go for low competition. So what's your current DR? What do we think we can get your DR up to within a reasonable time frame, the next 6 months or so? And so let's try and write the content where there's competitors with that kind of DR who are already ranking and getting traffic for those search terms. So I had one client who's a coach for school principals in the US, and he's got a mastermind, and seemed like a fantastic niche. And again, there was that hesitation of, are these school principals actually searching for a mastermind for school principals? Not necessarily. But we found you could go slightly higher up in the funnel, and then there was this whole wealth of other keywords around things like how to be a better leader, how to be a better principal for your teachers, how to retain your teachers better. And so over time, you tick off all these individual niches, and their traffic went from about 300 to 1,000 over the next 6 months or so. And it was one of those beautiful cases where I said to him, it's a long, slow process. But there was an article. Originally, we were basically creating the templates and getting them to write it. So we recommended the keywords just as we'd started. And I said, it'll be a while before it ranks. And they ranked for that keyword within 1 week of publishing it. And they outranked Forbes, several other big names. I think it was Inc. magazine as well. Because a lot of these people, they already had some backlink profile. They often had podcasts and speaking engagements, things like that. So they already had a lot of authority and built-in trust. So as soon as they published optimized content, their traffic just takes off. It ranks immediately.
Love that. Okay, before we get into more of like the link building stuff, which you specialize in, I want to when it comes to like high ticket items, like for these clients, like let's say this 10,000, I'm curious, like, you know, when you sell them this 10,000. So let's take this example for like a 10,000 program coach, charges 10 grand. Like how much? Because you said, you know, the cost for us is the same, but you know, how much would you like charge someone like that, and they'll easily pay you, or that you've seen for like someone like that, like say for like someone that sells a $10,000 program and they want to invest.
Yes, that has been part of the pivot basically. So like I say, SEO Jesus is now general SEO for anyone who wants it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are noticing certain trends in terms of the industries we work in. So unfortunately, the coaching space, some people are doing really, really well. I've not worked out the exact percentage, but it is an extreme minority. So my initial method, if you like, was pay a few thousand to go to a mastermind with 20 people in the room, have a good time, make genuine connections. I'm honestly friends with those people and really value the connections I made at those events. And then one or two might sign up as clients. But even then, when you look at the overall metrics there, in terms of everyone's paying $5,000 or so to be there, and then you find only one or two of them are actually qualified clients for you, and that then becomes very difficult to scale. And the hesitation was then I was starting to get some dud events where I go to a conference and I just misjudged the audience slightly, because you never know until you get there. And that's how I accidentally went to the adult conference. And it just didn't obviously state this is an adult conference. And so I turned around and thought, I'm probably not going to get any clients out of this one.
But you did though, right? You got clients there, the adult one.
I have since, because various reasons. But, a chain of wonderful events. No, so to answer your question, in terms of pricing, so 99% of that niche, I would say, was not qualified for a done for you service like that, especially where you've got to wait 3 to 6 months to get the results. And so ever since then, we've had much more success in just a lot more classic SEO niches. So cannabis, home services, finance, insurance.
I'm curious with that cannabis. I mean, that's actually, I mean, this is kind of a personal question for me, because I mean, I have a few cannabis buddies that want to get their sites going too. Like, have you found the cannabis niche harder to rank? I mean, like, does Google like for the keywords that the cannabis ranks for? I mean, is Google like kind of like putting those down? You know, like how, you know, for like adult stuff or anything like that, or is it fair game? Like it's just as the same as to rank any other keyword?
No, so far looking good. I mean, the great thing is, so niche, ironically, SEO Jesus is really into adult cannabis and weapons. That's because when I initially took off on YouTube, started getting some of these inquiries, and thought, no judgment, I can look into these. And what you actually find is, from your content side, it's not really that different. but you'll find there's less competition in terms of paid ads. A lot of these brands, they can't advertise using normal channels, even though a lot of them are really quite white hat. So the adult stuff I do is not the hardcore stuff. It's much more just things like toys. But even then, I am doing link outreach, and people are pushing back, saying, "Oh no, we can't feature that on our website." And thinking, "What? So you wouldn't feature Ann Summers on your website?" So it's this interesting area where, there's this hesitation just to veer off the perfectly clean, basically. That means that basically a lot of these brands, they can't use PPC, they can't use Facebook ads. SEO, it's a fair game. Something has got to rank there. And hypothetically, I have looked into occasionally some of the really dark niches like escorts and things like that. It's fascinating what you see in terms of the actual search results, because it's all PBNs. Obviously, you can't build proper links for those niches. But no ads. And so SEO-wise, things like Canvas really not any more difficult than any other product. But what you find is because they've got the budget, because SEO is the only place that budget can go.
Love that. Now let's talk a little bit about link building. I mean, this is something that you specialize in. I mean, like especially like let's say for like SEO Jesus, those 3 clients, those are kind of like tough niches yourself. I mean, for cannabis, adults, weapons. I mean, like how are you building backlinks these days?
So we just do direct outreach. So it's genuine outreach. We scan competitors' link profiles, things like that. We're emailing thousands of websites every week. And then it's just a rigorous screening process. So it's a screening process I came up with back when we launched the agency about 2-3 years ago. And it's quite long. It's about 20 steps. So we do a minimum DR of 30, minimum traffic of 1,000. Now, everyone says that. But in reality, most of the websites that get back to you, obviously a lot of them are link farms, deliberately selling links. So you want to find out, are these actually good links or not? And there's lots of manipulation that goes on. Because they're selling links, they'll spoof their traffic and they'll spoof their DR. Now, I've been in the corporate world where agencies will say, we've got you this DA60 link, as in, be happy for it. You're paying us $2,000 a month and we've given you 3 links and they've got a DA of 50. I'm saying, yes, but have you actually checked the links that have gone into giving it that DA? So we actually go into the backlink profile of each and every website we use. So there's all sorts of classic tricks we find out. Things like Web 2.0 spam is obviously a common one. There's even a trick where you can basically get other websites to redirect you by creating a dead page. So you can do it with Google, and it comes up in the backlink profile as advertisement do redirection. And it massively inflates your DR. So loads of sites do that. So we check, have they actually got genuine editorial mentions from other websites? Because those are the links you're ultimately inheriting. You're getting these links that are linked to them, which are linking to you. That's how the PageRank works. Then things like outbound links as well. So if it's linking out to, so a lot of these good links people tell you about, they might be a DR of 70, but if they're linking out to 100,000 people, then the power you actually get from that link is very small. Whereas you might find just some mum blog that might only be a DR of 40, but it's only linking out to a couple of thousand websites. So you actually get more power that way. Fundamentally, it's about checking and negotiation. So we can send emails all day long. We'll get responses. The question is always, which of these links, which of these responses do we actually want? And we reject the vast majority of them. And those are the ones we do want that pass all our criteria. It's then a case of they're asking $200-300. So we need to get them down. We tell them, we're not going to mess you around. If we can do a deal here, we will come back to you every month. We've got loads of clients. If you can come up with some sort of bulk option. So typically, our average order with a single site will typically be quite large, because we'll try and get as many relevant clients as we can to negotiate that bulk deal. And then we can pass on that pricing to the clients as well.
Love it. So how much is like a current link building campaign currently running for you? Like, let's say for like these high ticket clients. I mean, these high ticket clients that you have also are not necessarily competitive too, right? So you don't really need that many backlinks, right? So I mean, sometimes it's like, so what's like kind of the average price that people like your companies are spending for like backlinks these days?
So we actually, it's an interesting model that again has gone through some evolution. So going back to the idea of big corporate agencies, when I worked in an office, I didn't like the way the traditional agency model is, we'll charge you a big retainer and we won't really tell you what you actually get. you've talked to other people who are using an agency, and they'll say, "Yep, they're giving us 5 keywords for it." You think, okay, what are they actually doing to get you those 5 keywords though? So when I started, I decided I'd do a productized service, and we would just price per link basically. But at the time, I'd read Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. How can I make link building a no-brainer and differentiate myself from quite a saturated market? And again, I thought about that thing that links don't work if you don't know what you're doing, if your site's not up to scratch. So I basically said, you buy our links, we'll give you free consulting. So at the time, we started around $1,500 per month for 5 links per month. So we're looking at $300 per link. But the deal with that was you could email me anytime in the month and get a response within 24 hours. So that would typically include all sorts of technical fixes, all those things I told you about. You're not, your meta script, your meta titles are wrong, you're focusing on the wrong keywords. So we'll do the keyword research, we'll give you surfer templates. So what started as a prototype link building agency became much more of a full service.
Got it.
So to answer your actual question, our most common sale now is $3,000 per month. That's for 10 backlinks. So still the $300, but it includes the free consulting and content. And what we've done is we still price based on the links. So we've got 5, 10, 20, 30. If you look at SEOJesus.com, you like this. We've got the 5 links is called baptism. Then we have passion, transfiguration, and ascension.
Love that. Love that.
And so each tier you upgrade, the price per link comes down by 20%. So people will see our baptism plan for the 5 links a month, and they'll say, that's really expensive. I think, yes, but you're getting free consulting and content. Typically, someone who's starting with us, they need a lot more work done on their website. They're going to have all the questions. We're going to have to do all this work in terms of the keyword research, the content writing, quite often structuring the site as well. Whereas if we have a baller client coming to us saying, I just want to get my DR up as high as possible. I've already got all this traffic, but a lot of it's at position 4 or 5. I want you to push me up to the top. Here's 10 grand a month. Then we're just doing a straight link building, and we'll do basically a volume discount for that. So we start at 1799 for the 5, but then some of the other plans I'm quite hesitant to sell because we make so little margin on them.
Love that. So I love the positioning of how you, when you're selling links and then you're actually saying, hey, you get all this for free. I'm part of the whole plan. But I'm curious too, though, because you said you're selling links. I mean, how do the clients take that? I mean, like, they're like, oh, why do we need backlinks? Or, why are you selling, why is it important to us? Like, how do you let them know that for a client that these backlinks are important?
Exactly. So I'll typically open up Ahrefs and just demonstrate for them what domain rating is. Loads of people say, these metrics don't work, that sort of thing, but it's a really good way of illustrating. So we take your main keyword that you really want to rank for, the one where if you're at number 1, you'd be making 50 grand a month. So let's take that keyword, let's go on to page 1 and have a look at the domain rating of how powerful your competitors are. So that's what domain rating is. It's how powerful your website is based on your backlinks, both quality and quantity. So you're starting with us, you've currently got a DR of 7. Now, your main keyword that you really want that would get you 50 grand a month if you're at number 1, is a DR of 54. At number 4, there's a DR of 30. So we know we need to get, we want to get your backlink profile up to a point where you've got a DR of around, I can't remember the numbers I said now, but 30 to 50. We want to get you in line with what's already working, already being rewarded with Google. But if that could make you 50 grand a month, then are you prepared to spend 3 grand a month in order to get there?
Oh, I love that. Love that closing statement right there. Okay, so for those that are listening right now, we're coming very close to time here. That went by really quickly. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat while I ask my last few questions here myself. But go ahead again, ask them in the live chat. I want to go into, let's say here, let's pick one of my last one questions here. I mean, for what existing assets should be revisited to generate more high value leads?
Existing assets is in blog posts or
blog posts, landing pages. Are you actually creating any case studies? What kind of assets are you kind of really building to kind of generate more of these high value leads?
Yeah, good question. In terms of revisiting, one psychology thing I've been trying to get over. I'm very much the person who puts a load of stuff out there and then forgets I've done it and forgets to maintain it. But one thing I found with YouTube, of course, is I'm looking back thinking some of these really good videos I've done on topics that did really well. And 90% of a YouTube video's traffic is within the first week or so. And after that, it dies off. There's still an evergreen element, but generally it does die off a lot. So there's always that reminder that actually that topic that did really well, I probably could just do another video on that topic. And that's not really a revisiting thing. I think, especially with the AI content, I'm always telling people, execution, perfection gets in the way of execution. So you just want to, those people hesitating, saying, is AI content going to get me penalized, whatever? If I don't write, I need to write great content, otherwise it won't rank. And a lot of bad content ranks perfectly well. So but you don't know, if you publish 100 blog posts, only about 10 to 20 of them are actually going to get serious traffic. And you don't know which one it's going to be. So I always tell people, just put out all your drafts, basically. Don't work on perfectly optimizing every single post. Just get them out there and then refine the winners. When you've got the 20 or 30 that are actually working, then you can go in and optimize them further. Put in the, I'm just seeing the questions coming in underneath, and do actual copywriting. Put in your calls to actions and actually sell to people rather than just ranking it on Google.
Love that. Let's go with, we have a couple questions that came in here. We got one from Emily. Emily asked, what specifically do you look out to weed out bad backlink providers?
So I guess the question comes down to, are you talking about agencies or the actual website owners? We can answer both. So agencies, first of all, if they're using DA, this is just a petty thing of mine. If you've got the sort of shiny account manager who's talking to you all about DA and powerful backlinks, but won't actually tell you any deeper information, then that's a bit of a red flag. Okay. I talk about things like, what screening checks do you do, basically? High quality backlinks. Everyone says we all do high quality backlinks, but what does that actually mean? So I use my screening process as a lead magnet. So if anyone wants it, I will send it to them. So it's full transparency there. It's easier on my perspective if a client comes back after a month and they say, have you evaluated these backlinks? I say, there you go. Here's our criteria.
Ooh, so where can we find that link? I mean, is it on SEOJesus.com, or how can we get that process?
I've been meaning to revamp it because it's still branded for Supply, the old agency. So I need to rebrand it for SEO Jesus. But then, I'll probably do a YouTube video on it when I launch it, and it'll be in the. I've got the SEO Jesus Ranking Revelations newsletter. If you go to SEOJesus.com, there's a big red button at the top that says Ranking Revelations. I'll email it to that list.
There you go, Emily.
Other agency red flags? I think it's just transparency. And there's always that sense of, basically, are they a nerd or are they a salesman? Personally, I'd always try and get a nerd if you possibly can.
There you go. There you go. All right. So our last question from the audience is by Brian. Did Stewart model his rank and rent sites after Herc Magnus process? Do you know who?
I don't think so, because I don't know who he is.
All right. So how do you model your current rank and rent sites?
There isn't really a model. Had a great interview with James Dooley the other week, but I don't really know much about his individual process. So no, in my case, it was just I had these domain names. It's also partly to do with the way Google's going. So affiliate sites are getting hammered. So how can you go to the full stack and basically not have that person leave your website? So what's the sort of service business where potentially you can have the form on the front end, your phone number, and you control that lead? So if you've got the exact match domain for cleaning company in New York, whatever, then any futurative generative search, AI, anything like that, they're just going to recommend you. That's a proper business. Even if you're just sending the leads to someone else to fulfill, as far as Google can see, this is a legit business. These people searching the AI want this business.
Yep. All right. This is my last question that I asked my SEO professional to come on here. Is if someone wants to get to become an SEO professional themselves or get into the SEO game, what would your advice be to them?
I saw that question, so I really had to think about it. I think on one hand, I feel like loads of people start agencies without any experience and just decide they'll learn on the job. So traditionally, I've always said, start an affiliate site, start your own business, whatever, and go through the ropes of ranking your own site, basically. So I still advocate doing that, but at the same time, I think I probably left getting clients far too long. I think you'll learn a lot quicker if you've got a lot of other clients coming on board with lots of different scenarios and different problems to address. So personally, I think I should probably have done my own site for a year or two, not the 3 to 4 years I probably actually left it. So I think as soon as you get to that point where you probably got the sort of 80-90% knowledge and you realize, okay, I've got this now, then yeah, do it for 10 other people. And then they'll prove if you've actually got that 90% knowledge or not.
Love that. And for this episode to feel complete for you, I mean, the stage is yours. How can people get a hold of you? Anything else?
Yeah, subscribe to me on YouTube. That's probably my biggest channel at the moment. So SEO Jesus. Join the Ranking Revelations newsletter at SEOJesus.com. There's a big red button at the top. And that's pretty much it. At some point, I will get back on Twitter. So that's Stuart Vickers. Yeah, get in touch on one of those. And LinkedIn. LinkedIn's always good.
There you go. LinkedIn, guys. All right, guys. That concludes. Can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here? Just hold on for one quick second. All right, guys. That concludes today's episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsors, SEONitro.com and MagicPR.com. Until next time, I will see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO Video Show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul-Andre De Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!